What's up guys, I'm back and today we're going to compare the Surron and the ERide Pro. We're going to tell you guys which one is the best between these two bikes. So on the Surron, as you can see in the handlebars, it comes with gray grips, very basic brake levers, and then your display that you could barely see. This is, it pretty much just tells you your speed. It doesn't even tell you your battery, it tells you the mileage. And then you have your eco mode and your sport mode. For you to see your battery, you have to press this button and you have a gauge here that will tell you a percentage, which is a little inconvenient while you're riding. And then we have your USB here. It's your standard USB charging port, 5 volt at 2 amps, and then your ignition switch. Your ignition switch here, it has two positions, on and then off. You got your standard, I think this is the KKE forks. From what I heard, leaks a lot. And then obviously your powertrain, which is the battery. It's a 60 volt battery. I think it's a 34 amp hour, if I'm not mistaken. And then your standard Surron controller, which is around 80 amps, which equivalents about to 6 kilowatts of power for this bike. Let's work our way back here. You have your rear suspension. It is not adjustable, unfortunately. And then it has a D-link that they added. It has your taillight. It's not as bright as I would like when I ride it at nighttime. It has just 2 LEDs. And then you have your ugly gray foot pegs with no axle support, which over time, if you do any dirt jumps, this will eventually bend down. You got your motor. It's a SPM motor, surface permanent magnets motor, very common in the industry. And then you have your 19-inch wheels, and then your tooth sprocket is your 48T standard in most Surrons. It's good, but I know some people who likes to do some wheelies, likes to do some more torque, so a higher sprocket would make sense for them. And if you're aiming for top speed, you would lower your sprocket, and in this case it's right in between of what people want. And then let's work around to the other side. I'll show you guys the brake system. You know, standard Surron brakes, and then your 203 millimeter rotor, which is pretty standard on Surrons. It is a chain and belt drive system and utilizes a jack shaft, and the front again using 203 millimeter rotors and your standard brakes. So that's a Surron for you guys. Now let's move to the ERide Pro. So I'm excited about this bike. Again, let's start from the top. From the get-go, you already see what the biggest difference is. Your LCD TFT display. Biggest difference from the Surron, and you can see it's bright, has a nice logo on them, and you can see your speed, battery, your time, your mileage, and your trip. Easy to see while you're riding, and you know your speed rather than looking at a small display on the left, and you don't need to press any buttons on your battery to check the status. ERide Pro to utilize more robust light module switch, sport and eco, and a nice touch to this is they implemented the regen braking into the switch instead of doing some settings on the Surron with, you know, the Bluetooth stuff. You have to short 2 wires to do that. So here they literally said one is your soft regen braking, the middle one is no regen braking, and 2 is strong regen braking. You have your standard horn. And then for people who ask, this T used to work, but not in the 2.0 model. It's turbo mode. It's now constantly on when you're in sport mode. In the ERide Pro, they utilize a black grip, which is, I think it's more sleek and nicer. Their brake levers, I feel like it's more robust. When I utilize it, it feels more sturdy and stronger. It's a little bit longer, and it just feels more natural and nicer. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention is Surron, which is the lights here. On the ERide Pro, we have a full LED, and then for the Surron, you have the circle light. I mean, it looks bright, but it doesn't really project as much compared to the ERide Pro, which is a LED bar with many LEDs. And the nice thing about this is the LED has a light switch button, unlike the Surron. So you can turn it off. It's not always on the whole time when you're riding, and you're not blinding people. So yeah, I know a lot of people use this as an accessory, but this front cover right here, a lot of people buy this as aftermarket, but in the ERide Pro, it's already included off the box. And then we'll move forward to the powertrain right here in the front or in the middle. So you have your standard battery. It's a 72 volt 40 amp hour. Yes, I said 72 volt. Out the box, you are getting a 72 volt battery, which a lot of dirt bike riders coming from the Surron will spend another 2 grand for a battery just to get 72 volts. Controller is already capable of 72 volts. And then also here, a nice touch they did is you have your USB 3.0 and a Type-C charger. Nice touch, ERide Pro. And then right here, your big motor, capable of 12 kilowatts. compared to the Surron's 6 kilowatts. Double the power, double the oomph, you know what I mean. And then it comes with black foot pegs, which is a lot nicer, nice sleeker. And then the nice touch is the foot peg axle support. This comes with the ERide Pro out of the box. You don't even need to buy it anymore. For the rear suspension, it is adjustable. You got the knob right here, adjustable height. You can see the threads over here. And the nice thing about this is that they didn't use the D-Link, which is, you know, sometimes it's just a design preference. The other thing I noticed for the ERide Pro is the jack shaft. The jack shaft has a cover on it, protects it from dust and debris, which is a pretty good thing because, you know, when you go off-roading, a lot of dirt gets in there and gets stuck. And then you have your chain. This feels like a way better quality chain than the Surron's. This sprocket I'm going to talk about right now, this is a 55T sprocket. So imagine you're hitting 60 miles an hour with a 55T sprocket compared to the Surron with a 48T sprocket, struggling to get 50 miles an hour. In order to get that 50 miles an hour, they would probably go down to a 42. So off the bat, you get a higher, bigger sprocket, which means more torque. So this baby will pop a wheelie pretty easily just on throttle without even doing any pumping or, you know, effort. Again, 19-inch wheels, just like the Surron. And then on the other side, the rotor, biggest difference in the rotor is they use 220mm rotors. Their brake calipers, I feel like it's a little bit more beefier, so heat dissipation is a lot better. I like it. It's all black, not green. It's more stealthy. They have some swing arm supports, which this is a nice touch. And then they have more supports here. And yeah, that's your ERide Pro 72 volt out of the box. Prices between these two bikes. The Surron comes out around 4,500 bucks, but the ERide Pro costs about 4,800 bucks, which is $300 more. But the specs and the things that you get out of the box for the ERide Pro is worth more than $300. The battery alone for an upgrade is about 2K. The motor upgrade alone is around 500 bucks. And a controller, you could spend up to $800 or more for an upgrade. So out of the box, you're already saving a lot of cost. So the ERide Pros wins it, checks marks across all boxes. So in my theory, the ERide Pro wins this comparison. Before we end the video, make sure you share the video, tag your friends down in the comments to get free shipping. This is gonna fly. Make sure you order it soon at the VoroMotors website, www.voromotors.com, before it's too late. And if you want to see us race these two bikes, like and comment down below, and we'll see you next time.